Hello lovelies, I'm going to be a little bit backlit today, well, just for the start of the video because I'm going to be playing with the window. The camera's adjusting, brilliant. Hope you're all well. I'm getting on with this stuff because, right, let's get on. It's another rain day, for goodness sakes. It's rain. It seems to never want to stop. Apparently it's going to, actually it looks really light here and bright. It's not. This is the camera working really hard to brighten things up. But this afternoon, according to the forecast, it should, firstly the rain should dry up, but also the clouds should be moving on, so we actually get some sunshine coming through, which would be great because I need to get on with work for my shop and eBay, which I need to photograph, which requires light. So, whilst it's raining, let's get on. Bedroom window, lovely, lovely big window. I'm going to take 2 lots of measurements today. I'm going to go on the inside. Oh, right down to there. 187. Drop 187, width, this is inside. And then what I want to do, I've got an idea for a window treatment. So the plan in here will be to have curtains. I won't use the curtains a lot, but for winter to close the curtains and make it really cosy. But also down here, just down here is my radiator. So what I'd like to do eventually, especially if I can buy one second hand, is get a French return curtain pole. So I've got a regular curtain pole here, it's just, you know, just sits against the wall. Whereas a French return, at the end of the curtain pole, it bends back right to the wall. So in other words, you start your hanging against, the curtain will hang to the wall rather than out somewhat where the draft can come through. Anyway, that's for another day. So yes, I'm going to have curtains, but they're going to be open, you know, during the day, most of the time. So I just want to do a little window treatment for a bit of privacy that's not these blinds. I'm not a fan of Venetians. 125. I will do a finer measurement once I actually come to making the thing that I've got in mind. So yeah, I just want to do something in a sheer sort of, I've got some vintage stuff that's sheer that will just, in the daytime, just give that little bit of privacy. At night time it wouldn't give any privacy because as soon as I put a light on, it'll be see-through. But yeah. There we go, now you can see if I close the blinds. Why didn't I think of that? Or blinds open? No, it's too bright, isn't it? And then for the curtains, so I've been keeping a lookout in charity shops, but I can see at a glance everything. There've been a couple of pairs I've seen that I thought, oh, fabric I liked. Look at them, and I know that they're nowhere near big enough because it is a really big window. Oh, this is one of those days where a second pair of hands would be great. Let's get you hooked up there. Oh, it's a long way up. Up there. Okay, you're going to fall off, aren't you? So I might do it in stages. So 80. Yeah, if I do it in a stage and then to the floor. So I want them to be floor length. 102. Yeah, I want them to be floor length. I just think it looks more, well, I think it looks nicer, but also in terms of drafts in the winter, coming under the window, yeah, let's get them to the floor. Gosh. They are long. Any guesses? I've done it in centimetres. It's 260. It's over 2.5 metres. In feet and inches, what's that? I don't know feet and inches. What's 5 foot is 60, isn't it? That's 5 foot, that's 6 foot, that's 7 foot, that's 8 foot. It's nearly a 9 foot drop. And then width wise, I'm going to go right to the wall and give myself some overhang. 168. Now I'm measuring for, as if I was buying, if I stand this way, there's a bit of light there. I'm measuring as if I'm buying ready-made curtains, second hand hopefully. If I was measuring and making my own curtains, I'd want to measure the size of my width and drop, but then I'd be adding at least half of that width again in terms of to give me a bit of gather. Depending on the kind of pleats you do and how luxurious you want your curtains, you could go up to 2 times the width. I don't need to be that luxurious. But also, obviously that measurement doesn't include any hemming. So for instance, at the top I'd need to hem, and at the bottom a hem, maybe a deeper hem. Yeah, so I'm just measuring the basic size of that aperture, but a little bit of coverage either side, as if I'm buying ready-mades. If I can't find any second-hand, if I give up waiting and decide I'm going to make some, then I'll measure and I'll add half again in terms of the width. But actually, as you can see, what did I say the drop was? 260. So I'd be buying 3 meters drop for each curtain panel. 6 meters, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fabric. I mean, the cheapest fabric these days seems to be about 10 quid a metre, so that's going to be, and that's just very light cotton. Let's say it's more like 15, so that would be about 90 quid for fabric. That doesn't include any lining, it doesn't include heading tape and all the notions. I mean, it could end up being, even if I make them myself, it could end up being 150 quid. So I really want to see if I can pick some up secondhand. The other thing I will think on, that will be a thought in my head, is if I find something that I really like but it's not quite long enough or not quite wide enough, I can think, okay, I can add fabric at the bottom, at the top, at the sides. It could even be that I border the entire, if we take one panel, so that I'm going to have 2 panels, 2 curtains, but I could border one curtain completely in a contrast fabric, not too wildly contrasting. I don't want it like that in here, but something really simple so that I can get something secondhand and increase the size, maybe from my own fabric stash or from a really simple plain fabric that doesn't cost too much. That would be another way of doing it more economically than making 2 entire curtains. Right, okay, next thing I want to do, I'm going to come on to pictures in a sec, but let's pop to the kitchen because I want to go and sort that picture out. And I think we're going to be on the hunt for some buried treasure. What are you talking about? Let's go and find out. Just before I get going on the job in hand, this seems like a million years ago now, I thought I'd show you that the, the hood, cooker hood over the thingy-majig, this area is finished now. There is a little, you can sort of see almost a line there, that's not anything to do with what I was doing, it's just that the plaster, slight unevenness there. But yeah, so I come in the kitchen now and I go, oh, that's better. No ugly mess. So, happy to get that job done. Like I say, it feels like it was a million years ago now. Right, to the job in hand at the table. If you remember, I picked up this lovely little bit of cross stitch, and it's of, if I bring it in close, you'll see, Studland Bay. Lovely. Needs a bit of a clean up. Actually, it's not too bad. Just a bit of dust mainly. I thought I saw, I'm just running my finger over it. I thought I saw a couple of paint splodges. Maybe I think I've picked them off already, but I had got ready just in case. I'd got ready my razor blade scraper. It's such a useful little tool. In this case, it would be a useful tool for just if there were any little splodges of paint, just lift them off with the scraper. I will give the front a bit more of a clean. I will use some vinegar and some paper just to bring up that glass lovely. Also on the frame, I don't think it's going to pick up on camera, but there's a little tiny area here which I thought, oh, that's a blob of paint. It's not, it's a little bit of a scratch in the frame. So I've got my paints ready. I'm going to see if I can just touch that in with a bit of paint. I don't think I've got any varnish to put over the top, but it'll be just enough so that if I'm looking at it on the wall, I don't get distracted by that. However, before I start, because that obviously that's going to be wet on the front, before I start that, I'm going to look at the back because, oh, that's something else to show you. So, it's a little bit of a, right, there's a felt foot on the corner here, but it's an odd one. There should be two, that one's gone. So I'm just going to take this one off for now. I will sort something out. I think I've got some felt, I don't know if it's that fat, to even it out. So all of the tape needs replacing. Yeah, I mean this is just comes off easy peasy. I don't want to lose the original framer's label. It's a Swanage framers, frame shop. Now the thing is, I don't know if it'll pick up, but there are little sort of staples that are holding the picture in. So all this tape that's coming off, it's not doing anything by way of holding the back of the frame on, it's not holding the picture in. It's purely, all of this tape, it's purely as to stop dust getting into the picture. So I've got replacement tape here. Obviously I'm going to just run all four sides. Again, I'm going to leave this on, the second prize from some sort of RHS show that was held, but it didn't get filled in, which is such a shame. I'd love to know. So yeah, I will get the tape to run around. Again, like I said, it's just to seal the back of the picture so that dust doesn't get in. But this is what I want to dive into. There's something in there, and I thought at first, oh, maybe it's hooks. I don't know, but I don't think it is. So I'm going to open it. I'm going to try and open it. I want to see if I can leave it on but open it. So I've got a little knife. I'm just going to see if I can. I just want to know what's in it. And what I'm wondering, this is my speculation, I'm wondering if winning the prize came with a little medal and they've put it in there. I don't know. It's about the size, whatever's in there, it's about the size of a penny. Is that enough? Curiosity kills the cat. What's in there? What is it? Oh, how odd. It's a 20p piece and a 10p piece. Was that the prize money? I can't see dates on them. 1996. Obviously they're not old coins. Where is it? 1992. Oh, how funny. 30. I wonder if that was the prize. Well, you know what? I'm going to pop them back in. Curiosity nearly killed this cat. I wouldn't have been able to sleep at night wondering what was in there. Right, well I'm going to get on with this and then we can get hanging, because I'm going to try and use those, not try to, I am going to use and see how well they work for me, the old-fashioned picture rail hooks. So we will reconvene in the bedroom for that. Oh, actually, first, I'm just going to tip you up so I can talk to you more easily. Oh. We're not quite up. Hold on. Up we go. There we are. So, also, it's like 2-3 weeks ago now, do you remember? I had that sign and I used the glue dots. Useless. Well, not quite useless. It worked for a grand total of 4 days. 4 days it stayed up and then boom, down. So I'm going to use, I've got these command hooks, which I bought, so there's 2 left over. I bought them for, do you remember the vintage metal no smoking sign? Obviously with a metal sign, I knew it had to be stronger. So I used these. And the idea with these is that you don't mark the wall. I'm not actually putting a nail into the wall or a screw of any sort, so if it needs to move or change, it can all be taken down without leaving a mark on the wall. Great. So I've got 2 left over. They will more than do for this, so I can get on with that today as well. I don't want to spend too much time on any of this morning because I need to get the camera out and need to get photographing. But for now, I'm going to get on with this, looking after this frame. And like I said, with those felt feet, that little, you can see it's quite a, it's quite a wedge of, I've got a shadow, it's quite a wedge of felt just on the bottom 2 edges, so that as it's hanging against the wall, those bottom 2 edges, they're not going to scuff the wall, which will be particularly important for me. Oh, I've got to measure for the wallpaper. I knew there was another measuring thing to do in the bedroom today. I need to measure for wallpaper. I'll do that too. Let's get the picture sorted, go and measure for wallpaper. I've got a list. I need to check it. I need to use my list. Good. The back is now, oh, what's that? Oh, it's the 20p's fallen out. And that's now nice and clean and tidy and all tight again. Good. I've also, it's come up beautifully, the glass. I've just done the glass with vinegar, and then obviously give it a dusting first, scrape what have you, but then vinegar and buffing it off with just a little bit of newspaper. So now I'm just going to fill this bit in. I'm just going to try, I've just got a piece of paper. I'm going to try my colour on first. Oh, it's a bit, oh, it needs to go a little bit more yellow. Pick up a little bit of yellow. I think that might do it. Oh, the overhead light is a bit too shiny. I need to get an angle without light. There we go. And I want a little tiny darker bit, because the frame has got a sort of, it's faux gilt, so it's not a flat colour. I think that might do it. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Good. So, let's go and get hanging. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, measuring for wallpaper. Right, let's get this to the bedroom. Now I'll take it to the bedroom. I'll leave it flat for the minute because that's wet. And I'll do the wallpaper first. Yes, good plan, Vivi. Measuring for wallpaper. It's actually really straightforward. Just be accurate. So wallpaper, my pad for writing down my measurements. It's going to take me a minute. I've got to go around the whole room. But essentially wallpaper is generally sold by the square metre in terms of coverage. So if you look at a roll of wallpaper, it will say, you know, covers, how much, it's so long since I've used wallpaper. Maybe it says covers 10 square metres, not 10 metres squared, 10 square metres. In other words, you could have 5 metres by 1 metre wide and then 5 metres by 1 metre wide, 10 square metres. So, very simply, I just need to measure my drop. I'm only going to go up to the picture rail with my paper. Another one for 2 hands. Right. I'm going to wedge that to the wall for a second. I want it to go down. 1.90 metre. 1.90 metre is my drop from the picture rail. Wallpaper drop from pick rail, 1.90 metre. And then what I will do is I'll measure. I was going to say the circumference. It's like the circumference of the room. I just measure all my distances around the room. So where there's sticky out bits, essentially I'll measure this wall as one flat plane, because that'll be easier to take measure from basically wall to wall. But then I will also then later on add in that little bit of recess. It's as simple as that. And then I need to work out a little bit of overage, because obviously we're always going to have a little bit of excess at the top in order to trim, and excess at the bottom to trim, going around fiddly corners, that sort of thing. But the big thing, of course, is going to be the pattern repeat. So you may never have done wallpaper before and you're thinking about it and how to measure. If you've worked with fabric, especially big things like making curtains or loose covers for your furniture, you'll be used to the concept of pattern repeat. And that is, oh, I don't have it to hand to show you. For instance, okay, I'm just going to grab this duvet that's airing on the radiator. This is the second-hand one I bought. It's already been in use, it's been washed, and now it's airing. So on here we can see that, I don't know how clearly it will pick up, there's the fat stripes, really skinny stripes, and then medium stripes before we get to the fat stripes again. So from here to here, this is what we call the pattern repeat, because after that distance, that pattern repeats again. So that's got to be about 10, maybe 20, 25 centimetre pattern repeat. The reason it's important is because if you've got a wallpaper with really quite big, bold pattern repeat, you might have a pattern repeat that's 50 centimetres. In other words, you've put your piece of wallpaper on the wall, and then this one to match up, and you've cut it off, my fingertips where you've cut it off, you're like, oh no, now I've got to take it all the way up here to get the pattern repeat to match, and it's going to be right up here, so you're going to have a load of excess to cut off. So there might be a formula, I don't know, but I would say I'm probably going to want at least 10% more than I think will cover. I'll look at that pattern repeat. I think it's only a small pattern repeat. I think it's probably about 15 centimetres. I might think in terms of 20% extra. Because then also, if I end up with some spare paper, if I end up with a whole roll spare, it might be that I change my design plan for the downstairs loo and I put it in the downstairs loo, or I can use it as drawer liners. I don't need drawer liners in here, but you know, drawer liners, put it on the cupboard shelves. Oh, I know that's really old school, isn't it? Lining your cupboard shelves, but it does make it easier when for your spring clean. Take out old paper, put new paper in. Anyway, so I will do that. I will go around, I'll do my circuit of the room to measure. But in the meantime, this, remember I was mentioning it hangs too low. It needs to be here. The only reason it's there is because there's a blooming great ugly screws sticking out the wall. I don't know what they had hanging on that. Ugly. So instead of having a screw sticking out of the wall, and also just bear in mind, oh, have I brought my pliers in? When it comes to, where are my pliers? Has anyone seen my pliers? Are they on the kitchen table? I thought I brought them through here with me. Back to that screw that's sticking out of the wall. When I come to decorate in here, obviously all the pictures are going to come off anyway, but things like that, before, I'm going to have a professional come in to do the wallpaper. There's no way I can do it on my own. You know, the best of times I think wallpaper is a two-person job. I've always done it with 2 people in the past. But these days with my knees, to get up a ladder to hang it, actually I could probably hang it without a ladder. But in any case, I'm so crunchy in my bones. Just get someone else. So before they come, to save a little bit of money, I will do all the prep in the room. I'll prep all the surfaces. And part of that will be exactly like I did in the kitchen above the cooker hood. Getting screws, wall plugs out, filling. And I'll do this in plenty of time in advance. I would say probably a couple of weeks before I get someone in. So that any filling I do has got time to properly go off. So instead, what I'm hoping is I can use these picture rail hooks. There were 2 in the pack, so I've got my studland that can also go up, and in terms of cost, this was £1.99 for the 2, basically £1 each. And it simply, it just slots over the top of the picture rail. I'll give you a closer look in a second. And then picture hanging wire, picture wire. It's, what is it? I think it's brass with a steel core, which is why I need my pliers, because my pliers is under the duvet. I was absolutely sure I brought my pliers in. Right, no, I'm going to go and get my pliers. Hang on a tick. She's back in the room. Pliers to hand. Right, so the picture wire is 3 meters and it cost £1.95 and call it £2. So £1 for the hook. I probably use about 1 metre for this picture, so maybe £1. So it's a couple of quid to have a hanging solution for this picture. So what I will do, I might have to demonstrate this to you on the bed. Oh, sorry everybody, you were kind of caught on. There we go. We can use this as a sort of a table to work on. Can you see all right? Out of the way, other bits. Will I leave that string on for now? I might. Right, so I've got my 2 eyes, as it were, in the back of the picture. Thread a bit of the wire through and give it a twist. I don't know what the breaking weight is for this wire. It doesn't actually say. Oh yeah, it does. The breaking weight is 6 kilos or 13 pounds. I don't know what that weighs. Oh, I reckon that's about, I think it's about 3 kilos. I'm trying to think that it's like, it's about the weight of a slightly early neonate. And now, how much to cut off? Well, I'm going to offer it up to the wall. This is another day for 2 people. There we go. There's the wall. I'm just eyeballing it because it's a picture on its own. It's not got to sort of sit with other pictures. Oh, get my knee up on my chair. Because it's not sitting with other pictures. It's a little bit more flexible. But I reckon that's going to do it. But let's see if that is about it. Whoopla. So if I offer it up you to shift up a bit, I think. Up a bit. Up a bit. I think that's it. That's okay, I've just pulled the hook down, it doesn't matter. So, I was gripping that with my finger at the back of where I want it to be. I'm just going to do a very tight bend in it so I know where it is. Cut a little bit excess. Come back down to the picture now. Yeah, I'm going to cut excess, so if I want to drop it down a bit, I can. I've got a feeling once I stand back, you see, this is one of those things, if there are two of you, it's so much better because the one with the artistic eye can stand back to decide if it's in the right place, and then the other one can just be the muscle. In this house, I have to be everything. So that's my little tight bend, so I know that's approximately where I want it. Now before I wind this wire too tight, I'm just going to have another look at it on the wall. Oh, you need to come back up. So this is the day where, oh, and the hook fell off. I need 2 pairs of hands for the actual hanging. And a 3rd pair of hands. I need myself a camera woman. Let's just have a look. And then I'm going to step right back to see if I like that. Oh, that's so much better being higher. I'm going to leave it like that. I think it could... The thing with the picture rail is, I almost want it, yeah, I think that's fine here, I think that's right. I will leave that excess wire there, I'm sure I'm not going to drop it down, but when it comes, once the room's decorated, and so it's going to be wallpaper behind here, and then just playing above, it might be that I want to nudge it just an inch higher. I know it sounds crazy, but any of you who are very visual, will know what I mean, that sometimes it's literally moving something an inch makes a world of difference. So for now, that's great. And actually I'm going to show you the side on. I'm going to get you in close, and it's quite heavy. Get you in close and this map, by the way, this map of Dorset, it's an original, it dates to about 1680. Incroyable. I came upon it in my book dealing days. I'm just going to show you this side on. I'm going to take you on the tripod. I want to show you now. Let's see if we can get really side on. Okay, you're at a really weird angle. Apologies, but can you see how it hangs out a bit at the top? I'll get the old string off, and then when we come right down to the bottom, you see how now it sits onto the wall. That's the perfect demonstration of why those little felt feet pads work, just to protect the wall surface, wallpaper, etc. And then you can see that's the hook. It just... Shall I get you... Oh, I'm wobbling all over the place because I'm reaching backwards to show you. So that's it in place. And that's how it... So that's how it looks when it's off. So you can see that's quite a chunk of... All of that goes up and over the top and hooks in behind the back of the picture rail. Great, and now... I'm going to do one more. Oh, I tell you what, I'm going to do one more. I'll show you when it's done. It's the Studland one. There, I'm pleased with that. So for now, it's on its own. Do you remember I was saying though that there is another picture to join it? So the wonderful thing about using the picture rail is I can move it along. But yeah, that's my little studding frame. Normally on the far end of the shelf isn't empty, it normally has my angle poise lamp. Oh, I was supposed to be doing that in this video too, with fixing my angle poise. That might be another day, but I think this lovely little bit of cross stitch, I think it looks perfectly at home here. And once the wallpaper's done, even more so. I mean, it's cleaned up beautifully. I've touched up the frame. The back's all clean and tidy now. It's perfectly positioned for me to enjoy as I'm nodding off to sleep or as I wake up in the morning. And I can't wait to get the other one to have alongside it. Happy days in terms of orientation. Yeah, so pulling back. Yes, bed. So I can wake up and see that. It looks wonky now from this angle. It's not. I could get my spirit level out and show you, but I'm not going to bother. Oh, happy days, and I'm chuffed to get that one raised up because it was just at a ridiculous angle. Right, what's next on the list? Good, and there's enough of the picture wire left to where I've got the Studland cross stitch. There's enough picture wire left to do when I pair it up with that Studland watercolour from my grandparents. There's enough picture wire left to do that. Fab. Right, I think that's more than enough chat for one session. I need to clear stuff away. I might do the angle poise in a minute, but it's trying to brighten up. So this is, I haven't put the lights on in the kitchen. You can see me. So yeah, I'm going to, like I said, get finished, tidy up, etc, and then into the front room, set up to start doing some photography. And lunch first and waffling. I will see you all again really soon. Until then, I hope you're getting on with your little bits and bobs. Oh yes, so I made a note to ask, going back to when I started using my Sundays to sort things out, and I said when I was getting on with the over the cooker hood, the ex-cooker hood, next time we reconvene, I hope you'll have got a few of your little jobs done. Did you manage to get a few of your little nagging jobs done? You know, the one where it's like the coat hook that's half falling off the wall, and every time you come home from work and put your coat on it, you go, oh, I must fix it, I must sort that out this weekend, and 2.5 years later it's hanging by a thread. So did you all manage to get a few of your jobs done? I hope so. Let me know which jobs you did. I will see you again before too long. So for now, it's cheerio. Cheerio. Bye everyone.